up or not. Oh, he's got it. Yeah, I guess he. Hey, buddy, what's up?
Much. Is that just for lunch and learn or something?
Yeah? We hope. We hope people show up at 12 o'clock. You never know.
I think I signed up for it.
Then you're welcome to join.
What are you doing otherwise?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Busy, you know?
Yeah, I bet you are.
One guy, 5 campuses.
Oh my gosh. And lots of doors and keys.
Yeah. Cool on everything.
Not never-ending job.
Hey, job security, you know?
I guess so. Have you been on that SkillSoft system? The learning system?
I don't know.
I mean, have you logged in and seen the online training that we're doing today? That's what we're doing today. Okay.
That's why I'm trying to figure out what exactly I'm supposed to, I'll say, learn, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I know how to turn the computer on. I know how to get into my files, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. What else should I be learning about the computer and everything else, okay?
Yeah, like you would learn maybe how to manage your email.
I do my email, okay?
And maybe what's called the Microsoft Word, which is the tool you use to write things with, or the Excel, which is what you use to do like financial stuff with. Financial stuff.
I use an Excel sheet.
Mm-hmm.
I believe to keep track of all the keys and stuff on the campus.
Ah, I bet.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then I have it set up so at the bottom of the sheet that I go to the campus first, and I go to the bottom of the sheet, you have all the buildings, and I go 4 by 4 on each one of the buildings and stuff like that.
Okay.
Hello.
I do that in Excel sheet, and I'm using on that.
So there's Excel. I mean, there's all kinds of training in here. We're going to go through some of that today.
What I wanted to come to it.
All kinds of training. Training on customer service, on supervision skills, leadership. I'll show you a lot of courses. We'll go through a lot of courses.
That's why I came here to see what I really need to know.
And we'll show you how to log in the system. And show how you get professional development credit, how to go in the credit database, all that stuff. Yeah. Hi there. I'll get you the handout. Get Lenny the handout and packet.
Is this his last name?
Lenny Lazat, yeah, that's him.
He did sign up.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
This should be interesting.
Jessica can present to 4 people.
Lori's coming.
Who?
I think Lori. She signed up for it.
Hi, Jessica. Hi there.
Go ahead and sign.
Okay.
So Nancy's going to be out next week? Or not next week, the week after?
Yes.
So you're doing an
Oh, man.
orientation?
Yes. So long, you know.
Good. You can do it. You can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it, yeah. I guess Nancy's husband had surgery or something.
Oh, is that when
That's
she's
what
out?
that's what I was hearing. She's out this week.
I know she's out this week, and she's going to be out the week after spring break.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got some appraisals she's got to finish. So I was on the phone with her a couple days ago.
I know that one person asked if we could record this.
think they say they always do, but
They always do.
yeah, I would, and I would eventually want to put it on the website, our website.
Hey, Lori.
Hmm.
Do you guys record this?
Yeah, we like to probably get this file and put it on the website.
Hello.
We got people asking for this content sometimes. Hello. Well, I guess when Jessica comes back, we'll get started.
We had a whole
Five out
people.
of 15. We had to start making like some judgment calls here. You know?
Well, we probably shouldn't have done it today. I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah, I guess so. Light crowd today. Get your packet and stuff.
Right. Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, remind me to say that.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna get you guys about ready. We're gonna have to do it. A light crowd today. Five's the crowd. Five's the crowd. So let's see. I'm gonna try not to spend too much time in front of the screen. You guys ready to roll? Are we rolling? We're live for the masses of people who are watching online. Understand there's masses of people online. So welcome to our Lunch and Learn today. We're talking about employee online learning, talking about the Skillsoft system, and a few other things we're going to cover today. So for you folks in the room, you guys have this blue handout. The presentation is going to pretty much step along all the content that's in this handout. You also have the new, revised, and greatly expanded Skillsoft certificate program catalog. So if you are watching online, just send Learning Connection an email, and we'll send you all this stuff via email. So you have the new catalog and all the handout stuff that we're doing today related to Skillsoft. So what's it say in the handout? Let's talk about for just a minute about why should you take the time to develop your own skills. Here we are in appraisal season, right? Everybody's in appraisal season. Who's writing appraisals or getting appraisals, right? I know I'm in the middle of it because I'm part of the HR team that's reviewing about 500 plus appraisals and reading all these things and this whole big process we have. So one of the things we look for particularly, at the end of each year, we look for the ways people have grown their skill sets and grown their knowledge. And you guys really should do that for yourself. How are you growing? And how are you growing in your skill set and your knowledge and preparing yourself for other opportunities or advancement or whatever it might be? And the Skillsoft's a great thing to do that, and we look for that particularly in the appraisal cycle. One of the things I looked at, there's a website called Glassdoor. Is anybody familiar with Glassdoor at all? Some of you? Glassdoor is an interesting website where employees and former employees, the whole thing's just made up of employees who fill the content of the website, and they provide feedback about their employers. And there's a lot of data like salary data and feedback on companies, and because a lot of jobs are posted out there. They did some surveys and was published in September of 2018. It was 3 skills you need to develop that are guaranteed to improve your career prospects. Number 1, train yourself to innovate. Number 2, develop negotiation skills. And number 3, work on time management and deadline skills. Anybody have issues with time management and getting things done? I know Lenny was talking about a lot of work that you do all over 5 different campuses, so all of it is very, very busy. So in parens, right beside each of those areas that Glassdoor says you should work on are the certificate programs that exist inside Skillsoft that relate specifically to that topic. So we have coursework that relates directly to those 3 key areas that the Glassdoor, which is the same company, by the way, that owns Indeed. Anybody knows Indeed? So another major job posting board and an organization that does a lot of analysis of jobs and companies. These are some of the 2 top websites out there to go look at. So this is the data they're telling us about what employers are looking for in skill sets. Skillsoft specifically aligned right with those. We have full certificate programs on that. Another one, how many of you guys are on LinkedIn? I suggest you go to LinkedIn. Matter of fact, if you want to know how to get a LinkedIn account and be on LinkedIn, we're going to show you today in Skillsoft a lesson on how to do LinkedIn. It's all out there. So LinkedIn is a great networking tool to keep you up to date in your industry and get you linked in with your network and your tribe, as they say, of your people to help advance your career and knowledge. And they do a lot of work in LinkedIn on studying employers and business needs. So they published January of this year through CNBC.com the 5 most in-demand soft skills and the 5 most in-demand hard skills. So you guys all heard that thing that it's the soft skills or the hard skills sort of time, right? The soft skills, time management. We have a whole certificate in that. Adaptability. We have a whole certificate in leading change. Collaboration. We have a course called Encouraging Team Communication and Collaboration. Persuasion. We have a whole course in that. And creativity, there's a whole certificate program in that. And so today we're going to show you how to navigate to these courses and to these certificates specifically. Top 5 skills. Hard skills. UX design. Anybody know what UX design is? How about UI design? Okay, user interface design. Anybody know Les? You know, it works on the website here. Okay, if you go over to Les's Cube, he's got this whole book, a whole bunch of them say UI something, on how to do user interface design. It's sort of the next generation of that they're calling UX design, the user experience. It's kind of the next generation of user interface design. So there's courses in Skillsoft on UX, user interface design. People management skills. We're going to show you hundreds of courses related to that. Analytical reasoning, whole certificate in critical thinking. Artificial intelligence, a course in that and several different courses on artificial intelligence in the workplace, and even cloud computing. So these are the top 5, what they call hard skills. We have directly related courses in that. So any questions as we go along here, just throw them out. And by the way, I meant to, I just assumed everybody knows me. Is that just way too much of a big fat head that I have? I'm Bill Fowler, because I think maybe there's a few folks actually in here that you don't know me. I'm Bill Fowler with Human Resources. And this is Stephanie Ham, also with the Learning Connection and Human Resources. And Stephanie's really the brains and the talent behind all this stuff. And she's going to take over here in a few minutes on doing all this. So what is Skillsoft? So a little bit of a brief definition here. You know, it's an online learning management system, incorporated in 1997. I thought this was interesting. Who's the guy that owns the Berkshire Investment Organization? Did I ask you too soon?
Buffett.
Warren Buffett. So up until 2014, his company owned Skillsoft. He decided to sell it for, what's it say, $2 billion. And some of the clients of Skillsoft, it's probably the biggest or one of the biggest online learning content systems in the world. Clients include Sprint, University of Florida, the U.S. Army, GE, and I know some other major universities use this as their foundation of their employee development tool. They have over 7,000 online modules here. So you'll see the next heading says, when can you use Skillsoft? We get this question all the time, and I put it in here now because I really want to clarify when can you use it. So look at the bold headings. First one, professional and salaried employees. If you use it during scheduled work time, like live learning programs or online programs, it says employees attend or access the online courses with their supervisor approval. Okay, your professional staff, you're doing this during work time, do that with supervisor approval. Then it says, well, what about during non-scheduled work time? Well, if it's a live learning program of some kind, like coming to an event, get approval from your supervisor. But if it's an online course, employees can access that as desired, whenever you want, at home, here, whenever. Next category, career service hourly employees. Do this during work time. Okay, basically it says You can do that with your supervisor's approval, and the supervisor must make sure it stays within your set of hours. If you're a 29-hour person, a 37.5-hour person, you have to do that within that amount of time. So your supervisor can give you at-work paid time to do it. But the next heading says during non-scheduled work time. Again, if it's a learning event that you come to, get your supervisor approval. But if it's online, like these courses, even if you're career service and you're doing this at home on your own time, non-paid, do as many as you want. We have folks who've done over 100 courses on their own time because they're developing their skill set, they're enhancing their resume, they're help positioning themselves for other opportunities. The one about adjunct faculty, I don't think I have adjunct faculty here, but they're kind of treated like part-time employees. They also have full access to this system, all the adjuncts do, so it's a really good benefit. Any questions at all then about when you might take it, might use the courses? Okay, a lot of people are doing this from home. Matter of fact, I just got a question. Is it going to be up and running over the break? Yes. So if you want to kind of explore, log in during the break, you can do that from home. Yes, sir?
And they are available for regular faculty, correct?
Yes. Did I not mention full-time faculty?
No.
Wow. So, absolutely. And full-time faculty is probably a little more interested in it now because of the requirement. The requirement that's actually on in the contract to do certain types of professional development. So some parts of that can be covered by the online courses. So we are getting more faculty asking that question.
Sorry, is it, I'm seeing up there that it says something about professional development. Is that where we find out, you said some parts of it, is that where we find out about getting credit for it?
We're going to go over specifically how to get professional development credit and how you can put your own in, but the short answer is when you complete a course, you take any of these online courses and the system actually shows you completed it. Now most of them have an end of course quiz or exam. You have to score at least a 70, but you can take that over and over and over again as many times as you want to get the score. The system says it's completed, and we run a monthly report automatically takes those completions and puts them in the completion database. You don't have to request credit for any of these online courses. But we're going to take a few minutes today to show you, if you go to a seminar, are you a faculty member, by the way? Okay, so if you go to a seminar or you read a book or you're involved in a professional organization, all these other kind of things you have to do, and you enter that credit yourself, we're going to show you how to do that today too. So that's a good thing. People have been asking us a little bit about that. So we're going to navigate through, before we actually go in the system, we're going to navigate through, this is on the Learning Connection, you can see right here, Human Resources Learning Connection, online learning, so this is out there on the website if you guys want to see yourself. We're going to first kind of go through and get a feel for all the courses that are out there. Then we'll go into the system and look and see what that really means, what it looks like. So let's go to, these are Excel spreadsheets. We're going to go on the one called online business courses. So what kind of onboard business courses are in the system? So when you open that up, you see here, this column says course title, and there are, when you click on that column I, you're going to see what it says over here. So there's 858 course titles. That particular column are the course titles. They also have a course area over on the H, but let's just scroll slowly. So Foundations of Six Sigma. Anybody familiar with Six Sigma? Okay, getting any kind of Six Sigma certification or courses is a pretty big deal in a lot of different industries. It's an analysis of performance improvement strategies. Certainly a really good thing to have. We have a lot of Six Sigma training. Moving from operational management to strategic thinker. Fundamentals of business planning, thinking strategically. Big data, a lot of issues out there about big data management. Marketing strategies, public relations strategies, marketing in the digital world, finance and accounting essentials, accounting for non-financial managers, banking courses, commodities, insurance, credit and risk, workforce planning, human resource development, employee planning, managing people, managing strategies, managing employee performance strategies. Some of you supervisors writing appraisals. There's a lot of stuff about that. Creating a positive environment. Women in leadership. Anybody involved in that program, the Women in Leadership program we have here at the college? There's a certificate online about women in leadership now, all in there. Which, by the way, everything I say, this is what Stephanie's built into the system. So that certificate exists now because Stephanie's created it in the system. Workplace conflict, negotiation, developing your emotional intelligence, a big topic that people are working on now. People have been asking a lot more about emotional intelligence in the workplace. There's a whole program on that. So I'm kind of going through and looking at these major headings of areas. And again, the dark text over here are all the individual courses, course name, course code, that if you wanted to go into this spreadsheet and copy one of those into Skillsoft, it would take you to the course immediately. Or you could just go search for the name in Skillsoft. And we're going to show you all that today. Okay? So most of you guys, some of you have been in Skillsoft. Who's really not even launched Skillsoft yet? A few of you? Okay, good. So let's just scroll here just another brief minute. What do we got in here? Succeed on listening, managing different cultures, business writing, grammar, communication skills, dealing with conflict in the workplace, critical thinking, dealing with organizational change, 360-degree relationships, business ethics, time management. There's all the time management courses we're talking about. Making decisions. Gee, we're about 3/4 of the way through here. Project management. Okay, and so each one of those courses represents anywhere from about a 30 to 60 minute on average to go through those courses, by the way. So they're pretty good chunked. Again, this is full, self-paced, anytime, when you want, at your pace, as many times as you want to access the system back and forth. Take the quiz over and over again, go in and out of the quiz as many times as you want. It's just there all the time for you. This is considered an employee benefit. The college leases this system each year, and Dick Hammond is involved out of his budget to lease this each year and have it for us, and it just grows and grows and grows. About every month we get another email of another 100 courses they add. Let's go to the desktop courses. So the desktop courses is what they call their software application courses. So, how big was this one? If you click on I, again up there, does this have how many hundreds of courses? 834 desktop or software application courses. So let's just scroll through there slowly. We get questions all the time. How do I do Adobe Acrobat? I got this PDF file. How do I edit it? How do I do different things with PDF? All that is in here. Plus Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop. Lots of people want to know how to do better things in Photoshop. We even have Mac, Apple series training. A ton of Microsoft Office 2016, totally update with the 2016 training. All the Microsoft Office. So you want to start at the beginning. What is Excel? Why would I use it? What would I use it for? My personal budgeting or my department budgeting or tracking. Sometimes you keep a lot of lists of a lot of things you're doing. Excel's great for that. How to search, how to do all these things. All that's in here. Word, PowerPoint, Outlook. I really encourage everybody to take at least the basic Outlook course because it'll make you a lot more efficient with your Outlook email. So I really like to do that. Microsoft Project, that's an excellent tool. If you have any projects that you're doing that involve a lot of people and time and tasks, and you want to say, well, if I do this task here and this task here and that task here and actually assign people to it, and I think they all take about this long, and I think it's going to be about this, all to be done, then you can say auto schedule. It takes all your criteria and spits out a schedule saying, you know what, you can't get there from here. So you need to put 3 more people on that task and move this task over here. Oh, let's do it, auto schedule again. Boom, it looks at your schedule, gives you another project plan. Neat tool. Big organizations seriously use that for project planning tool. Okay, so all this Office 365, our tech team would really like us to communicate that Office 365 is out there, all the training's out there, all this online systems that are available, and we're going to step into some of that when we look at some of the courses too. Particularly this one called Teams, we're going to take a little look at that. This thing called Teams is what, if I say this right, it's the online collaboration tool that's out there for teams to use online to collaborate, to share documents and share information in order to do your work.
It's
And
gonna-
more,
It's going to replace Skype eventually.
okay, it's going to replace Skype,
Yeah, it's
and
chat and video and
it has all those functions.
Mhm.
Wow, so it's an online virtual collaborative tool that we're moving more towards that, doing that. And so matter of fact, specifically Joe Diaz and actually Jeff Pooley, you guys over in IT, asked if we would make sure to share that with all of you because we want to move more towards that type of tool. What else do we got here? Microsoft Windows, Google Apps, social networking, getting the most of your social networking skills, how to use mobile devices, so how to use your iPad, how to use your Android, SAP systems, Facebook. We're going to launch into some Facebook here. Everybody have a Facebook account? Okay, so if you don't, the whole how-to is on here. How to Facebook, how to Instagram, how to LinkedIn. It's all on how to do here, and also courses on how specifically to do it on handheld devices or on a computer. QuickBooks, oh my goodness. QuickBooks skills is a really important skills. You see people needed to do that all the time. So the whole curriculum on how to do QuickBooks, which is a financial management tool, all that's out there. So there's 800 and some courses on software applications. What's the next heading was, let's go ahead and go to the IT. The IT courses.
this mouse is not working.
There you go. And go to the next one. There you go. So click on I again on the column on this one. So IT courses, I don't see it up here. I think it's about 2,000 courses on this one, particularly technical courses. So let's scroll this slowly through here. Microsoft Visual Studio, all these different types of Microsoft certification tools. Is it scrolling?
No.
You can't get the bar over here? Scroll. There you go. Right there. Just go ahead and go through as quick as you can. So lots of different software tools that our technology people use, or if you want to learn how to use. There's Microsoft certification trainings in here. We'll go through the certification piece in a minute. Programming languages. You want to learn how to program your website with different kind of tools. All the languages are in here. C++, programming language that's used all over the place. Software testing. So lots of different technical courses, lots of different programs. So, let me go ahead and close out of that. This thing, by the way, CompTIA, in order to be a certified PC technician, the main certification that people get is from a company called CompTIA. The certification is called the A+ certification. All the curriculum and the training to get ready to take that test to be a certified computer technician is online. We'll go through more certifications here later. Are you able to launch the certification one? What's that? There you go. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. In just a minute, then we're going to launch into Skillsoft. So one more file. So let's take another little look at this. So if there's 7,000 courses out there, right? Stephanie has taken bunches of them and moved them into groupings and called those certificate programs. And that's what that booklet is. So you get logical groupings of certificates. We, Learning Connection, when you complete a certificate, we award that certificate. We have a twice-a-year award ceremony in this room. We get together, have some fun. We give you a really cool-looking certificate. And those are kind of resume-worthy. Certainly kind of related to these tags and things that are going on now, or what do they call them? Not tags, but, to put on your resume, you completed different kind of things. But in the industry out there, there are industry certificates that people get in their line of business. What might be an example of that? Anybody have an example of certified? Does the Department of Economics have anything related to being certified in economics, or Or what do you teach? English. Okay, so there may be certifications out there through different professional organizations that you get. So this one, they then have a lot of courses that are the coursework that you need to prepare to go take that certification. Okay, so some people in their businesses, but one that's really common is like a CPA. CPA needs to take certain coursework in order to qualify to go take the CPA exam. In my business, for example, the Society of Human Resource Management is the biggest human resource management organization in the world. They have certifications that you get and training that you have to go to. For me, years ago, I went through another college, got that certification. It cost me about $1,000 in 6 nights over 6 weeks. All that training's on here for free. See? Let's take the Project Management Institute. They have 3 certificates, well known in the industry. This is an international organization. The main one right here, Project Management PMP. Is that, you able to open that? If you have a PMI, Certified Project Management, on your resume, that's really big credential. All of the courses, right here, 35 courses to sit for that exam are all online for free for you to get these certifications.
So if you did these 35 courses online, you get the certificate?
Then you're qualified to go sit for the exam. But you have probably, the last time I saw that particular course, it was about $3,000 or $4,000 to go sit for a prep test. And then rather than do that, they even have a sample test. They took one of the old tests and they turned it into a sample test. So you can sample test that over and over and over and over again until you go sit for the real one. It's all online for free for you. Good? We good so far? So I'm just showing, we just showed you a whole tons of what's in the content. Let's actually get to the system. Stephanie's going to navigate you to the system, or did you want to go to that first, or actually navigate it to the system?
We can go into the system.
So how to get to Skillsoft. All right.
Okay. So there's several ways to get to Skillsoft. You can go directly to the website, which is seminolestate.edu/applications/Skillsoft, or you could go to our Learning Connection page, which is on the Human Resources page. You hit Learning Connection over here, and then Employee Online Learning. And this is where you'll find you'll find a quick start guide for Skillsoft. You find all those spreadsheets that we just went over. And then this Skillsoft login page, you click on that. And then here you're going to type in your My Seminole State login and password.
And the stuff she's going over is right here in the middle of page 3.
So is that the login we use to start the computer? Or is that the
No.
login we use on to view, I'll say, view your paycheck, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's right here on this sheet, Lenny. In the middle it says how does Skillsoft work? It tells you the path. It tells you to use your My Seminole State login. And it tells you, it suggests that you use Firefox. We've had a little more help with Firefox than Chrome these days on using it. So we're right there in the middle of the page.
Like that. Can we use that other keyboard?
Bill, just real quick, do you know, is there a phone app for Skillsoft or not?
There is not. Well, there is an app. Skillsoft does have an app, but we have a login.
It doesn't work with our authentication tool. So that may be down the road, but that's a whole nother ball game to try to, we have been talking to them about it, but it doesn't work with the login mechanism. Keyboard's not working?
No. I don't know how to turn this. This one's not working either.
Is this on, Josh, the keyboard? So as we're doing this, are there any questions about the system at all?
Oh my gosh,
Now, to get to this page with the skill soft and everything, I go to the homepage for, what's it, My Seminole State, is that correct?
Yeah, it's right here in the center of the page where it says, how does Skillsoft work? And it shows you the path. Right there. This is the path you would put in. It would take you there. Okay, or you can also follow this path from the home page
Yep.
to that human resources. You could follow these too. Okay, that'll get you to it.
Hope I didn't lock myself out. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, here's the main page. In the center here at the top, we have Browse the Library, and this is where you're going to find all the courses. Over here are the certification that Bill was mentioning, the
Right there.
like where I thought Human Resources was on here.
It'll be under certificates, under certification on the
Okay.
bottom.
This is going to have all like the human resources certifications, the CompTI, the Google, the Microsoft, Oracle. These are the industry
Yeah.
certifications that he was mentioning.
And these are just prep for certification?
Yes, these are just prep for them.
You have to go to a testing center somewhere.
Yeah,
Correct.
Skillsoft, a lot of those organizations have online courses to do the prep, so Skillsoft has licensed those online courses from the actual organization in the system to take, but you would still have to go register and pay for the exam. So some of that training could be thousands of dollars, but then you could bypass that cost and go take, like to take the one for human resources, probably $300, so I would still have to pay that and take the exam. There's a lot of great technical certifications up there.
So the one from Seminole State College that we've created for the employees is in the center, this group right here. It's SSC certificate programs. It's also in your catalog. If you follow through the catalog on the checklist here, it follows this grouping. It's all in alphabetical order. It's going to start with administrative professional, then it goes to change, communication skills, customer service, and so forth. So within those categories, you're going to have different certificates. So all the change certificates you have, dealing with organizational change, growth mindset, leading change. And so within these certificates are the courses. So you have to take these courses to receive the Creating Lasting Organization Change certificate. So, and within the courses, you're going to have several,
Sub-lessons.
yeah, lessons.
But you'll see
And-
they're all some 3 or 4, 6 minutes.
Right. So it goes by pretty fast. And then at the end you'll have a test, and then it'll go to the next course, and then once you've completed all the courses, you'll be eligible for that certificate.
So, and again, in each individual course, we automatically load that credit in the credit database for you.
Correct.
If you complete an entire certificate, though, that's a bit of a manual exercise. And again, we run a report twice a year, see who's completed certificate levels, and we give those out twice a year in a little ceremony.
Right.
Desktop application, that's huge.
Yes, desktop application. This one I broke it down into Adobe, Microsoft Office, QuickBooks, Windows. Like within Adobe, you'll have Adobe Acrobat DC, which is Adobe Pro. You have Dreamweaver, Flash, Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop. These are all the creative suites.
So are there certain questions inside each one of these that you have to answer?
We're going to launch in one in a minute and show you
Yeah.
how it works. It's like a little online lesson.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll show you.
So Microsoft Office 365, that's what Microsoft is pretty much going to now. Like if you have a home computer, they're eventually stopping where you load Office onto your computer. Now it's going to be all online. And so you have to either pay like a one-time fee or you pay a monthly fee to receive all the Microsoft Office services. So these courses,
So you all get access to that, right?
yes.
You might mention that.
These courses or these certificates here it'll show you everything, all the different applications that Microsoft Office 365 has. For example, it has Outlook, OneDrive. OneDrive is pretty much where you could save all your documents there. You can give permission for other people to get into your folders and read your documents. You share your work that way. In Microsoft Office 365, we do have access as a Seminole State College employee. When you log in, you use your email address and your network password. And you can have access to all these different applications. So when you're at home, if you're working from home and you have a huge document that won't send through email, you could save it to your OneDrive, and then you could give permission to whoever is at work or wherever to get into your folder and your document to receive it. But these courses explain how to do all that. So Joe Diaz and Jeff Pooley, they wanted me to emphasize OneDrive, Teams. A lot of people are starting to use Teams, OneDrive, Groups, but they're getting caught up on it, and so they want you to take these courses first, because most of the time it's user error when something goes wrong. So these are a good starting point. But if you're a new supervisor, we have leadership, management courses. Of course, if you're not a supervisor, you could still take these courses. They're very good. Generations in the workplace, leadership essentials. There's all these different certificates. Improving your leadership skills, techniques, organizational awareness, the voice of leadership. And within those certificates, you have the courses. Most of them have at least 2 or 3 courses. Some have more, some have only 1 course. So there's a little bit of everything in there. And of course, if there's something that we don't offer as a certificate, you could always just type it in here in the search column. Like if you want to know, like he mentioned Facebook, I don't have a certificate for Facebook, but that doesn't mean you can't go take the different Facebook classes. So you would just type in Facebook, and everything that has to do with Facebook pops up, and you could just take the course yourself. And you'll get credit, even though it's not part of our certificate program. Any course you do in Skillsoft, you'll get credit. I run a report once a month, and it'll tell me, it'll list everybody who's completed a course, and I upload it into your professional development credit database.
You can go ahead and launch that Facebook one there.
This one on top?
Yeah. So I get a question fairly often too about, well, what should I take? Sometimes, people work with their supervisors to specifically go in there and look for things that are job related or job enhancement related, But all of us as employees, and I also think on the faculty side, there's a certain amount of training and development. This is called enrichment, or personal enrichment, or personal growth. So there's things you can do in there that are just things that are of interest to you. You know, that we have this organization now called Women Moving Forward or something like that that's happening. That might be interesting for people involved in that. Just take that women in leadership just as an enrichment thing. Or you might say, I've never done anything related to a programming language before. I'm going to take an intro to programming language just to see what that's like. Other things, so it's just about enrichment and growth and expanding your mind and different things. It doesn't have to be specifically related to your job. I know some of you do have other goals that do have to be a little more related to the job, but that's something you work out with your supervisor. But so we launched into Facebook just for the heck of it, and they start really at the very beginning. Let's go ahead and hit the top one, creating an account.
What they
What do you got?
say launch. You have to-
Oh, I guess at launch, okay.
Yeah.
So to start it, all those lessons, you go to launch. So here we are. This is what a typical Skillsoft lesson looks like.
Go to table of contents, and you just hit play.
You guys get the sound? Can you do it up there? There we go.
So the first thing you need to do is access the Facebook website. You can do that either by typing in Facebook in your browser search engine and finding Facebook that way,
Oops.
or by
Sorry.
going to your address bar and typing in facebook.com directly, and you can see that Google is auto-suggesting that one that you have on.
We don't have to watch the whole thing, do we?
No, but just pause it a second. Hit that. So, for those of you who've never been in Skillsoft, okay, so we've launched a typical lesson. So you're in an instructional strategy. This is now your classroom. What are the lessons you have to learn? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lessons. The average person goes through them in 5 or 6 minutes. You can do it as many times as you want, as slow, as fast as you want. You can see we've completed the first one. It's full circle. If you just started, it'll be a little half green circle. Start and stop as many times as you want. You can expand this thing. You go back and forth as many times as you want, replay it. In this particular case, so you start, how do I do Facebook? They're starting you by showing you, well, how do I even get to the Facebook application? I don't even have an account yet. So they're starting at the very beginning. This is where you start in. You have to put in your name, enter some info to create a Facebook account. It takes you all the way through, what do you put on Facebook? How do I put my profile picture? How do I communicate with other people? How do I put stuff on my page or my wall or whatever they call Facebook, right? So it takes you through all those steps and all these different little lessons. Same thing with Instagram, LinkedIn, all these different types of applications. All that training's out there.
You said it takes a normal person like 5 or 6 minutes to do those.
The average.
Average. What about a person? I'm a very, very slow reader. Is there a time limit on that?
No.
Anything?
No time limit at all.
That's
You can stay in the
Yeah.
lesson as long or as short as you'd like. And that's another thing about this tool. Some people call this type of tool a performance management tool, not just a training tool. They use it as performance management. Well, what's that mean? Well, you're going and looking one day and you go, oh, I'm finally going to learn what a pivot table is. Just type in pivot table and just go right to that lesson as a performance tool. Or I'm finally going to learn how to do, I keep forgetting how to do that VLOOKUP in Excel. Just type in VLOOKUP in search, takes you right to the lesson on how to do that. Or I'm really having a conflict with my employers today, or how to deal with a certain situation, just type in the search box, it takes you right to that lesson. You don't have to take the whole thing, you just use it as a tool.
Okay, so when you go back to the home page, you could just click the icon here, it'll take you back to the home page. On the left here, the most important thing is your learning transcript. This will show you the courses. It pretty much has all the courses up, and you could filter it by when you last accessed, all your completed ones. So if you want to take all these and make sure that it matches up with your professional development on the Seminole State side in your records, you could do that. Because if we're all human, so there might be a mistake, and you don't, let's say you completed one of these courses and it's not showing up, you could just give us a call and we'll make sure that it gets added. Also, if you want to see what percentage you have to complete a course, that's the score. Nobody look at my low score. It'll show up on that too. If you want a copy of your certificate, you could do view certificate. This is the certificate you get from Skillsoft. It's not the one you get from us. Some people print these off so they have a copy, proof that they completed a course or certificate. You could do that. It's not very good. What else did we want to talk about?
Let's go into this customer service one, customer service over the phone. I want to show them how that's handled.
Okay, he wants us to go look at customer service.
So there's a couple different learning modes then, right? If you're going to go into an application like Excel or Word or any kind of computer applications, you're going to get the application and someone's going to be narrating and talking to you. Well, this is how you do Word, this is how you do Excel, this is how you create an image in PowerPoint, this is how you do that. And then it'll give you a little exercise to have you try to do that too. So it's not a totally passive learning environment. It's going to ask you to do some things. And it'll have a quiz that'll also ask you to answer questions on how you do things. So it's not totally passive, there's some interaction. But when you go to a more soft skills side of the house, let's see, you go to customer service over the phone.
I don't know where that one.
Customer service over the phone. There are a lot of customer service training courses out there. We have several organizations. Yeah, launch into that one. Several organizations here that are requiring their frontline people, like in student services operations, to go through certain training programs. So this one has a pre-test, but you can just say go ahead and start the course. You don't have to take the pre-test. And on this one, we want to go to open the table of contents. Go to there, yes, and go to this practice. So, and provide this top one, yeah. So it's just.
Today, telephone communication with customers has become increasingly important. So when handling customers' calls, it's imperative that you present a professional, helpful, and courteous image of your organization. You can now practice your skills in a role-play scenario to find out how well you do in providing outstanding customer service over the phone.
So hit next.
In the role-play that follows, you'll practice applying 4 main guidelines. Show you're actively listening to your customers. Use customer-focused language to facilitate customer cooperation. Help to resolve your customers' problems. And mirror your customers' language to make them comfortable and avoid misinterpretations.
And hit next again.
You're a customer service representative at the Mancheck Group, a company that sells and distributes technology solutions. One afternoon, you receive a call from Letitia, a customer who's experiencing problems with a laptop she bought from your company.
Hit next. Oops, wait a minute. Go back. I'm sorry. Go back. So this one you do. See what score does. Score.
What's that? Score?
Yeah. Yeah. Try that.
I bought a very expensive laptop from you guys, and now it won't work.
Okay, so we're kind of running out of time, but I just want to show you. On a soft skills type program, they've taken you through some training and some principles. This is near the end of the lesson where we're practicing. She's now putting you in a scenario. She's called, she's complaining about the computer she bought. What are some of the better answers? Now at the beginning of these lessons, some of the answers will be kind of obvious. You know, what the right answer is. As you go further in the courses, it becomes kind of one of those, well, what's really maybe the best answer of some good answers? What's the best answer? It makes you think a little bit more. So there's all these scenarios, and based on just click any of the answers there, Stephanie. You click any answer, and then say done.
Excuse me?
Okay? So that's what some of the soft skills training are like, right? They're really putting you into a situation. There's actually courses in here on public speaking they do online. So that's how they do. And then and several of these also just have flat out more of a real video, somebody talking to you about interacting with you. One of the things we want to do is show them how to get credit. I think we better go there? Okay. So Steffi's going to navigate to...
Real quick though, do we have any questions
Yeah.
on the actual Skillsoft page?
How about questions about the Skillsoft system? Call the Learning Connection if you have any questions, or email Learning Connection. Okay? So Steffi's going to take you to the question we also get pretty often is, how do I get professional development credit? So we're going to go there.
Okay. The fastest and easiest way to get professional development credit is to go to the SSAP, which is the portal, and you can find it on the main page right here under apps. And to log in here, you have to use your My Seminole State login and password. This is also where you find the calendar if you want to sign up for events. But over on the left, you'll have Human Resources. And you click on that, and then you go down to Professional Development. And you can hit Home. And this is going to show you all your training. It automatically defaults to 5, but if you want to show more, you could change that. This is all the training credit you have, all your professional development credit. If you want to add some new, you go over here to Add New. If you're taking college classes, you would hit Credit Courses. If you're doing anything else, a seminar, training on campus, anything, reading books, yeah.
Being a professional organization, cross-training in your organization.
Anything like that, you would, everything else would be learning activities. You click on that. And here you add the date of the training, and in the description, you could put whatever you want. I always suggest to summarize, do a short summary first, because when you go back to your home screen and it shows all your training, it's only going to give you so many characters, and that's what shows up on our reports. So instead of saying I attended so and so, and you're just like talking, add like
say the event title.
Yeah, just like a short title, and then you could go into the description, explain what it was, when you went, everything that you did, and then down here you would put how many hours it was, and then you just hit create and submit. When you hit create and submit, it goes to your supervisor, but they do not get an email notification, so they have to approve it. So you'll need to let them know that you submitted some credit, and then they would have to go in and approve it. And then next it goes to us over on here, and we have approval, and then we just hit save for approval. The only other option we have is duplicate, and the only time we do that is if we conducted the training and we gave you credit already, or if it's like a Skillsoft. Some people input their Skillsoft courses on there, but I already upload it, so I mark it duplicate, things like that. So that's the only time we disapprove it. If your supervisor approved it, we're going to approve it.
Yeah, HR doesn't police this, right?
No.
If your boss approves it, it's approved. It goes through and goes into the database. So this might be a period of time, I guess, when some faculty, I don't know which contract or whatever, are doing their appraisals or doing some of this, because we got some calls recently on how to do different things. So that's how you would enter the data. This then interacts with the faculty appraisal tool. When you go in and look at that faculty appraisal tool, you somehow can also see your credits, and you apply it to the different categories of professional development, right? That's all in that tool for faculty, but for the rest of the staff, that's how you would enter credit. If you're going to a seminar or activity or cross-training or reading in your industry, all kinds of things, that's how you would enter it. So we'll get down to about 5 minutes or so. What?
If you submitted some requests and you want to get a status on them, you could go down here to employee and you hit request. This is everything that you've submitted, and so you could do filter it if you want to see what any of these are. Like if you submitted a request and it's not in your system and we mark duplicate, you could come over here and filter duplicate just to see if it's on there. And you could ask us why, call us, give us a call and we'll explain why we did that. And it's almost always because we've already given you credit for it. That's pretty much it.
So the last thing on the back here are we get questions just recently. Some people are interested in different things, so we just threw some course names out here because we got interest in this. If you go into Skillsoft and you search for these course names, that's how you would easily find them. But we've had people say, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter. How do I create my own Twitter account so you can go out there and communicate to the whole world? That's all on here. Instagram, the LinkedIn is on here. Several questions about SQL, how to create SQL queries and working in SQL, that's out there. There's the leadership for women. OneDrive has a whole course out there. We talked about Adobe before. Organizing your contacts in Outlook. I get this question all the time. How do I create a mail group in Outlook? So I have these different mail groups I want to mail to easily in my email. Instead of typing out 50 names all the time, I want to create a mail group. That's how you would learn how to do that. One that people ask about a lot is the one called conflict, stress, and time management. And finally, that last one I thought was particularly interesting. If you guys are working at Excel, you're just now working in Excel. This particular lesson called Formula Operators is one nice, concise lesson. It takes you through the basic formula operators in Excel. Well, what is the plus symbol, the division symbol, the subtraction symbol, and examples of how they're used in Excel. How do I use these formulas? And there's a little table they show you in here on how to use it. It's a great start on using the mathematical formulas in Excel. So that's a great little lesson for somebody who's doing that. So we're kind of, anything else you think? We're kind of wrapping up, so let's whatever questions you guys have.
This OneDrive here, is that the Microsoft Office 360 or is that a different?
It's part of the Office 365.
Okay, that's the one that we have access to.
Yes.
Work in there, encouraging us to learn that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So it might be a lot to take in over the past hour, but the program is huge. There's a lot there. People do use it for professional development, but we really want, it's an overall employee benefit. We want you to use it for your own enrichment, your own learning, different things you might just be interested in, whether it's job related or not. Just go out there. You'll note the directions on when to use it or not use it. Obviously, if you're at work time or something, you want to coordinate with that supervisor. But other than that, if you're logging in on your own time or at home or these kind of things, and it's not something that's required, it's something you just want to do, hey, you go do as much as you want. And I have definitely seen people use some of this as resume enhancer or on LinkedIn or something. I got the HR awarded me this certificate for Word or Excel or PowerPoint or different things, and use that in your to enhance your resume. Obviously, you can go to the courses here at our school. You come here every single day. I encourage people to work on certificates and programs here, but sometimes that's hard to fit in. So this is the easiest way to do it. It's where you are when you want to do it. You just need a computer and log in. If you need any help doing that kind of stuff, just schedule a time with us and come on over to where we are now in the Weldon building. We'd be happy to show you how to do that. Okay? All right, well, thanks very much for attending.